What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Me and You TV Reviews. I am your host, Mo, and tonight, you guys, we're doing something new. All right, y'all. So I am super excited about this show. If it's anything like the animated version of Batman that just came out earlier this year, a couple of months ago, it's going to be good, y'all. Tonight we are going to be discussing The Penguin. And now this can be found on HBO Max or whatever it's called now at this point. Excuse me, y'all. This is season 1, episode 1, titled After Hours. Now, before we get started, I want to go ahead and give my disclaimer because I did not take notes, y'all. So whatever happens during this review is coming straight off the cuff. So if I forget any details, y'all, please charge it to my head and not my heart. I was looking at this episode while I was cleaning up the house today. And y'all know how that go. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the synopsis real quick, and then we're going to get right into the episode. So the synopsis for this one is: Oz seeks to fill Gotham City's criminal power vacuum after crime boss Carmine Falcone's death and eyes young Victor Aguilar as a potential recruit. Sophia and Alberto work to reunite their family. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and pull up this screenshot of the cast that I took because I know the characters. I just don't know their names, okay? Again, I was listening, not necessarily paying attention. So we start the episode off with some reporters talking about how Gotham City they have gotten worse criminal wise, okay? But one of their most notorious criminal mob bosses, what's his name, y'all? Falcone, Carmine, he's gone, okay? He got shot down, got knocked off, got whacked. And so now, because he is no longer, they are now expecting his son, Alberto Falcone, to fill his shoes, right? So this is something that's expected. And I guess I know that Gotham City is flooded with criminals. This is like the baddest of the bad, right? But for the reporters to sit up here and say this out loud on the news, that this is supposed to be happening, I was like, how corrupt is God? So y'all, he ends up taking over, and Oswald is supposed to be going to go meet up with Alberto. Now, I can't remember why they're supposed to be meeting up. I think they're supposed to be discussing something about his father, but when they sit down and have a conversation, Oz can clearly tell that Alberto is tweaking. Okay, he's been using, and he mentioned something about getting this big shipment in or something like that. He's gonna get ready to change up the game, right? And so he was like, oh yeah, that's good, this, that, and the third. They're having conversation. And Alberto is basically telling him, a lot of people underestimate you, but I know what you can do, okay? I know why you're really here. You here because you trying to sit up here and placate my feelings. You trying to appeal to my feelings so you can move up in the ranks. That's why you really here. And he really saw through Oz, because that's exactly why Oz was there. I think he went there with the intention to take him out, y'all. Regardless of whether it was intentional or not, that's exactly what he ended up doing. So Alberto ended up calling him, he was teasing him. He was calling him fat and, all the things, all the hurtful things that triggered his sensitive side, y'all. And so out of nowhere, when Alberto got up, y'all, Penguin, he ended up shooting him. Oz just shot him. He shot him multiple times. And so then, of course, Alberto slumped back down. He ended up taking the ring off of his finger. And then he was like, oh, and then it cut to the intro. Now, I don't think he thought this through all the way. I think he went there with the intentions to talk to him about Carmine. So I take that back. I don't think it was intentional. But it just happened. And now that he impulsively off this man, he got to figure out how he going to dispose of the body. So they had met at Oz's at the club, excuse me. I think this is Oz's club. Either way, y'all, Alberto went there by himself when normally he is securityed up. Okay, he usually got somebody with him. He got a gang of them thugs with him, but no, he came by himself. And I think this is what Oz requested. Okay, because they needed to speak about Carmine. Now, he's trying to get rid of said body. So, y'all, he is waddling down these steps, y'all. He is struggling with his body. Of course, it's dead weight, so it's heavy as hell, right? So he gets down to his car just for him to see some kids trying to jack his car. So he bust off some shots, right? And all of them except for one end up getting away. And the one that don't get away is Victor Aguilar. And so, he held the gun up to him. He threatened to end him, and he asked for his ID and all that stuff, and he figured out where he lived at, and he was like, hey, so, you basically work for me now. Because I spared your life, I own you. And so you gonna help me do all the things that I need you to do. And the first thing that I'm gonna need you to do is drive my car. So he ends up driving, and y'all, like, before that, of course, we can tell the poor little Victor, he just out here trying to get it how he lived. Now, granted, he ain't living right, okay? But he may have some home situations to where this may be the only thing that he know. If this the only environment that you grew up in, of course, you gonna go down this path, right? So he's in the car with him. Now, granted, mind y'all, Oz, he got this pretty purple Maserati. I think that's a Maserati. It's nice, y'all. It's like purple and gold. Very pretty. It sticks out, right? It's like a plum purple, but it's not plum purple. What did he say? Velvet purple? I don't know what he told Sophia later on in the episode. But either way, y'all, it's a really pretty car. Victor's driving him around. And he, I am so sorry, y'all. These allergies is flaring up in all types of ways. And so he was like, I basically own you. Now, the next day, they end up going to the shop, right? And so he's taking Victor around all his people, and Victor's trying to get a feel for the place. He don't know whether he finna get off. He don't know if he needs to, be treading real light or trying to act hard so he won't get knocked off. I don't know. He got his guard up though. So Oz comes into it looked like an auto shop. It's a front, y'all. And he's talking to his guys. He introduces Victor to everybody. And he starts to talk to one of the people. Now, one of the people, one of his head honchos, his right hands, they over there torturing somebody. When he tells them about some package, and this one package is going to one of these esteemed congressmen out here, or at least that's the perception, right? But Oz really know who this guy is, okay? And all the homies that he hang with, because he served all of them, right? So one of the head honchos ends up telling him that he got a phone call. Now, he know that all this information about Alberto, him going missing, is finna circulate real fast. And so, he know people gonna be looking for him real soon. And so he ends up taking a phone call, and he has to go to meet with some of the other head honchos, his bosses. And so he goes to go meet, they pull up to this real nice palatial mansion, y'all. That place is nice. Okay. And so they pull up. He goes to go talk to a guy named Johnny. And Johnny is the representative I think the representative for maybe Sophia. He's one of the reps for the family, the Falcone family, okay? And so he tells them that basically they finna get ready to relocate. They finna get ready to go relocate the business. The block is too hot, okay? And so they don't need all this stuff. They don't need the law. They don't need the police sniffing around what they got going on. And so they finna go relocate to a different city. Well, where they're trying to relocate, Oz is like, there's nothing there. There's no business there. And so he was like, okay, maybe so, but we don't work for you. You work for us. So if we tell you that we finna move, then doggone it, we finna move. You just gonna have to adjust, or you gonna have to get left. Make your decision. And so he starts to tell them about this deal that he's got in the works. Something big is coming up. I can't tell you exactly what it is. I can't give you all the details, but just know that something big is coming down the pike. And I just need y'all to trust me and give me a little time. And if you give me a little time, then I can make it worth your while. You ain't got to do nothing. All you got to do is sit back, relax, and reap the benefits of what's about to come. That's all I need you to do. Just trust me. And so he was like, okay, I'll give you some time. And so as he's finna get ready to leave, y'all, Sophia Falcone, who is Alberto's sister and Carmine's daughter, comes through the door. Now, nobody knew that she was out. Now, apparently, I think she was in Arkham Asylum. Y'all, okay, I don't know. She was in jail. She was in an asylum. She was somewhere for the criminals. And so she had recently gotten released, and he didn't know. Now, I don't know if whatever, they have a storied past. Okay, I don't know what all the history is. This is just the first episode, so I'm sure we'll get a little bit more backlog as the season progresses. But they clearly know each other. And so, she exchanges pleasantries with them initially, and then she starts to bring up her brother and how nobody's been able to get in contact with him. Now, like I had told y'all, and she knew that he had went down to the club by himself, when normally that ain't how he operate. He normally got somebody with him, and she said, I offered to go with him, but he told me no. He wanted me to stay back and to keep me safe, so I stayed back. But now I can't reach him. He's not answering the phone. I don't know where he is. Have you seen him? And so he was like, instead of him answering the question, something else happened to where he ended up responding to what else was happening. And so he was like, oh, I'm finna go. All right, we'll talk later, but thanks for trusting me. I'm gonna get right on there right away. Now, the whole time, Victor been sitting in the car, right? Because Victor's now his right hand, his driver, his all the things that he needs him to be. So he comes back out, and he's like, okay, we need to hurry up and leave. So as he's trying to get in the car, y'all, here comes Sophia. Sophia is following him, and she was like, hey, so it's been a minute since I seen you. Let's go sit down somewhere and have lunch. And he was like, right now? Yeah, right now. And so I'm thinking he finna get ready to come up with some excuse, but I guess if he came up with an excuse, then that would make him look all the more guiltier. She seems to pick up on people's energy pretty quickly, and so she must have picked up on his nervous energy. So They sit down to lunch, y'all, and this must have been her first lunch since she got released, because the way that she was tearing that food up, she was going in. Y'all would have thought that she was an extra on Major Pain. Okay, that's how fast she was eating that food. And then she was down in the drinks too. And so then, like I said, she starts to mention how her brother would come and see her every week, and how he was the only one that still had hope in her. Um, still, yeah, still had hope that she could get out and turn her life around and become somebody, and do something with the rest of her life. And so when she got out, she wanted to build up the family business with her brother, and now it seems that she's lost him before they could even start. And so she was like, "You never answered my question. Have you seen my brother?" And he tells her no. I'm sure that something will come up. And she's like, "Okay." And she then tells him, "A lot of people underestimate you, but I don't. I know exactly what you're capable of." And so then they end up leaving, right? So he done got real nervous, right? Because he knows that she's on to him. And so he ends up going to his mama's house. And well, before he goes to his mama's house, y'all, they switch cars. Okay. He ends up getting into this it looked like an old station wagon. I don't know. He turned the car on, y'all, and Dolly Parton is playing 9 to 5. Come on. I was like, yes, Dolly. He putting in work. So they end up going to his mama house, and he's reminding Victor to be real respectful. Okay, show some manners when you step over the threshold. And so he comes in and he greets his mama, and he's got gifts. Oh, speak to me, speak to me, speak to me with them gifts now. And so he ends up giving her this beautiful necklace, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Oswald, this is great. You're so, thank you, son." Da 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 da. Just loving on him, right? Praising him. And so apparently she's supposed to be taking some medication, y'all. He's coming in there to check on his mom and make sure she's doing all the things she's supposed to do. Y'all, why he find her pills in the tub? They still in the package, and he was like, "Why they wet? Why is there water in the tub?" And she said, "Oh, cause the grandkids was playing in the tub, and they didn't let the water out." I was like, "What the hell?" So no, she not taking her meds like she's supposed to be. Okay. And so he's trying to get her out of town because he don't want nothing to happen to her. And so he's like, "Okay, mom, we're finna get ready to go on this special vacation. We're gonna go somewhere nice, just trying to dress it up real quick." And he's telling her that Victor is gonna be taking care of her while they're out of town. And she's like, "Mm-mm. I know when you up to something. I know when you hiding something from me. What did you do?" And so he was like, "Mama, what you talking about?" "No, you are my son, okay? What did you do?" And so then he ends up bringing up Alberto Falcone and how he's missing. And so she was like, "Oh." He said, I think he confessed that he had offed him. And so he said that it was out of impulse. And she was like, "No, no, no, no. I know you. You're my son. And we're not just going to blame this on he said something to hurt your feelings. This was not an impulsive act. You did this with intent because you want to take over the city. You want to be the biggest crime boss that you can. You are so close. Now the question is, are you going to do what you need to do to get on top? What are you going to do about it?" And so basically, Mama was like, "I'm not hiding. I'm not going nowhere. I know what you are." Cause you mine, okay? She called him a P-boy. She said, now is not the time for running. Are you a P-boy? And he was like, no, I'm not. Yeah, I know you not, cause you mine. You gonna stay in here and you gonna take what's yours if that's what you want. And so, y'all, she done encouraged him. He done got the thumbs up from mama, and so he ready to go. Okay. So he ends up having a conversation with Victor, and Victor, he's basically telling him, look, it's gonna get real out here in these streets. I'm just letting you know. So if you tell me at any point that you're not okay, that's okay. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, but I just need to know if you're not okay. And so he was like, yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up because I ain't never done nothing to this capacity. So, it's just, it's new for me. It's a little uncomfortable. So and he was like, you know what? You ain't even got to explain no more. Go ahead and go home. Just keep your phone on you. And so Victor leaves, right? And so while he's gone, he ends up going to go meet up with Salvatore. What's his name? Let me click on his name, y'all. Nope. I was trying to see if I could find the nickname, y'all. Okay. So he goes to go meet with Salvatore. Let me turn this sideways. I'm trying to see if I can see the nick. I can't even see the nickname, y'all. He goes to go meet with Salvatore. Salvatore's in jail. And what he wants Salvatore to do is claim Alberto as his kill. Because Sophia's getting close. And this could be payback. Now, apparently Alberto did something in the past to piss him and his people off. And so he was like, you can claim this and, you can take retribution, this, that, and the third, because they're going to be coming. And Salvatore was like, yeah, but my people is the one that's going to be on the front lines if anything happened, because the backlash is coming and we're going to have to pay the cost. So if you going to be coming to me with some money, we're going to be talking a hefty amount of money for what I'm finna get ready to endure for you as a favor to you. And so that I don't think they ever reached an agreement per se. And Penguin Oswald was trying to talk to him, and Salvatore was like, nope, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You ain't talking enough money. It's not worth the backlash that's finna get ready to come my way. I'm good. And so Oswald ends up leaving. He was like, I'll be back. He was like, don't come back. He was like, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back next week or something like that. So as he's leaving, y'all, I think for whatever reason, he was finna get ready to go back to Alberto's house or go back to the club. And so when he gets ready to pull up, y'all, Sophia and her goons are standing outside. And so he sat there for a minute. Now, Grant, it was raining, okay? And so I was thinking, it's pouring down raining. Sometimes it's a little hard to see. It's busy. It's busy on them streets. But y'all, his car stick out like a sore thumb. And she had mentioned how eye-catching his car is. And I think she said like plum purple, and he corrected her on the color. And so when she looked over his direction, she doubled back and she was like, oh, hell no, there he go right there. Because I think she was looking for him. And so her goons ended up hopping in the car, right? And they started to chase him. Well, they finally caught up to him. And one of the Goonies put a gun to the windshield, right? So him and the Goonie start fighting. He ends up getting control of the gun, and just as he's gonna get ready to pop off on the Goonie, this school bus rolls. And I think he might have got him. Because I think Sophia had mentioned how he had let off some shots with next to a school bus or something like that. So I think he might have got the gun. Now, even though he got the one, or maybe not, when he turned around, he got jaw-jacked by the other goon that was in the car. So this knocked him out, right? So when he woke up, Y'all, he was tied down, butterball naked in a chair. I was like, Lord, please don't show his lower half. We saw hairy legs, hairy chest, uh, just hair everywhere. I was like, Colin is playing his butt off, y'all. Oh my gosh. So, okay. So this is when Sophia came up, right? And y'all, why is her right hand henchman? Why is that Lorenz from Power? Poppy. I was like, damn, he caught another job quick. I guess, there's always a cast type for that, right? So Sophia knows the truth. And Sophia confronts him about offing her brother. And she basically wanted to torture him until he told her the truth about what he did to her brother. And so she had Poppy, because I don't know his name, y'all. Let me see if I can find his name. I had saw him earlier. Hold on. Let me see if I can find Castillo. Okay, his name is Castillo in this show. So she had Castillo grab this. I don't know if it's a garrote. It looked like it might be a garrote, but it's a wire, y'all. He literally like tied that around his arm and he kept pulling it and it was cutting into his skin, y'all. Just pure torture, right? And so, like I said, she was saying how her brother was the only one that believed in her and she wanted to develop this connection and she wanted the family to be on top. And now here he is sitting up here lying to her face when she thought that they were better than that, this, that, and the third, right? Just playing in her face, just disrespecting the hell out of her. And so she's finna get ready to off him. And she says, I want you to tell me that he's alive. And of course we know he can't do that because he know that he dead. And even if he did tell her that, his facial expression would give it away that he lying. And so as he's finna get ready to say something to her, we hear this loud crash, right? She run outside and there's a car that done smashed into some bricks. And so she goes to the car. They open up the car door, like on the driver's side. There's a cement brick pushing down on the gas pedal, right? Now, what I couldn't understand was why the horn was still going off, because the horn was going off for quite some time. And usually when the horn continues to go off like that, it's because somebody is applying pressure on the horn, right? But there was nobody in the driver's seat. It was just the cement brick on the gas pedal. So then she go around to the trunk because she noticed that the trunk was popped open. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. Her brother was in the trunk. She let out this gut wrenching scream, y'all. He was missing the top of his pinky, like the pinky tip, from that first indentation in the bone on up. And the ring was gone. And we know that Oswald has the ring. Okay. And so he had a bullet in his brain. He dead, y'all. So she's screaming, and then on the top of the trunk, once you open up the trunk, on the inside of it at the top, it said payback. It was etched into the trunk of the car. And so as soon as he heard her scream, y'all, he started laughing. And so they must have released him because he then walks out to Victor. And Victor was telling him how he was going to dispose of the body a different way. But I guess this was the plan, right? And so he was like, no, this was a great touch. Okay, I'm glad that you took the pinky and you left the head on, because I think he was gonna try to decapitate him at first, but he was like, that was too much for me. Okay, I'm not used to doing all of this stuff. I'm good on that. And so he was like, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. And so then he mentioned Salvatore and how they're gonna respond did they ever get the okay from him. And Oz was like, no. He kind of forced the situation, and so Sophia is going to think that Salvatore did this at this point because of the checkered history that I guess him and Alberto had in the past. So that's that, y'all. And then Oswald basically tells him, hey, look, so you did great. I know that you said you're not sure if you want to dive in this deep, but honestly, do you want to just be jacking cars for the rest of your life and almost losing your life for a set of rims? Do you really want to do that? And so he was like, no. And so he ends up offering Victor a job. And he was like, seriously? Yeah, I'm serious. Okay. If you want it, of course. And so Victor was like, hell yeah. So then they end up turning on the car. And of course, now here comes Dolly Parton blaring over the radio again. And that's the way the episode ends, y'all. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, this is just the first episode, and I was listening, but I really wasn't paying too much attention to the details. So if I forgot something, charge it to my head and not my heart, y'all. But y'all got 30 minutes out of it. So more to come. I wonder if we're going to see some of the other villains. Now I know this is Penguin's story, but you know, he got beef with a lot of the other villains around Gotham. So I'm wondering if we're gonna get to see that. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it though, okay? You can reach me at Me and You TV Reviews on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also reach me at My TV Reviews Podcast without the S on the end at gmail.com. Y'all, I love y'all, okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. And until we meet over the airwaves again, I am Mo, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.